A world where profits mount higher than your imagination could ever conceive. Imagine yourself standing in the splendor of an airport terminal, looking up at the impressive architecture that surrounds you. The sunlight is shining on the shiny floors, maybe even reflecting off a rooftop pool that sits among the beauty. It's a captivating sight that captures not only the feeling of modern travel, but also the complex financial workings that make it all happen. These impressive buildings are more than just beautiful designs. They are thriving centers of profit that have found the balance between looking good and making money. Interestingly, some of the world's busiest airports have mastered this balance, making a lot of money that goes beyond just the usual airport activities. Welcome back once again to Docutainment's videos. As you get ready for your next trip, it's worth taking a moment to uncover the behind-the-scenes drama of airport finances. It's a story that combines careful financial planning, different ways to make money, and some creative thinking, all carefully put together to make sure these critical travel hubs continue to succeed. At the core of airport finances is a way of making money that has many parts. These bustling hubs of travel have a lot to manage. They need to pay for everything it takes to keep things running well, fund big investments, and make sure the people who invest in them get a return. This financial balancing act gets even more interesting when we look at the two main ways airports make money, from aviation activities and other activities that are not directly related to aviation. The foundation of aviation money comes from the fees that airlines pay to airports. This is important for the airport's finances. The way these charges work can be different at each airport, but they usually include a few things. Fees for each passenger, payments based on what airplanes do on runways, and fees for parking airplanes based on their size and how long they stay. Some airports even let airplanes park for free for a while before they start charging. If we go deeper, there are more aviation charges, like fees for using specific equipment, charges for security staff and checks, and even payments to support big projects. However, even though these aviation fees are really important, they often don't cover all the costs of running an airport. This is where other ways of making money come in. A mix of different ways to get income that isn't directly tied to aviation. Think about things like shops, duty-free stores where you can shop without taxes, the smell of food coming from restaurants, places to park cars, car rental services, big advertisements you see around, and money made from renting out spaces. All these different ways of making money help not only to make the experience better for travelers, but also to make sure the airport's finances are strong. If we want to understand how important these different ways of making money are, we can look at some significant numbers. According to the Airport Council International's 2021 Airport Economics Report, money from things not related to aviation makes up about 40% of all the money airports make around the world. This shows how crucial these different sources of income are, and sometimes they even help cover the costs that come from aviation charges. Among all these different ways of making money, things like shops, parking, and income from properties shine the most, making up almost 2/3 of the money airports make from non-aviation activities on a global level. The path of airport finances is not simple. Every airport has a mix of different ways to make money, and the most forward-thinking airports are always looking for new ideas to increase their income. This kind of flexibility is really important during times when the economy is not doing well or when there are big problems around the world, like the downturn in travel caused by the pandemic. Airports are now going beyond what they usually do, trying out new roles and making use of land that was not used before. For example, Brisbane Airport in Australia has created something called an auto mall. It's a place with car racetracks, car dealerships, restaurants, cafes, and even rooms for meetings and conferences. This creative use of space shows how modern airport finances are all about being dynamic and open to new ideas. The real meaning of airport finances becomes clear when we look at two examples: London Heathrow and Singapore Changi Airport. These are not just places where people catch flights. They are like small worlds of financial cleverness. London Heathrow Airport is one of the busiest in the world. It works under rules made by the UK's Civil Aviation Authority to make sure airlines are treated fairly and can make a reasonable profit. The charges airlines pay at Heathrow include many things, from charges for planes moving around to charges for taking off and landing, and even discounts for using remote areas for planes. But these charges are not just about money. They also encourage airlines to use cleaner and more eco-friendly practices. And Heathrow doesn't only make money from aviation, it also gets money from shops, other charges, the Heathrow Express train, and from renting out spaces. On the other side of the world, Singapore Changi Airport, known for being efficient and luxurious, has a different story. The money it makes from aviation comes from things like planes landing, parking, and using bridges to connect to the terminal and fees for passengers and security. The other ways it makes money include things like cargo services, fees for franchises, charges for utilities, money from consultations, and other sources. What sets these airports apart is how they label the different ways they make money. For example, Heathrow counts the money it gets from parking as part of the income from shops, while Changi Airport puts it under a category called Other Airport Services. This shows how complex it can be to compare different airports. When we explore the intricate world of airport finances, one thing becomes clear. These amazing buildings are more than just their physical appearance. They are the beating heart of global connections and economic vitality. The way they manage money ensures they are not just symbols of travel. They are strong and steady sources of profit. So, the next time you walk through an airport terminal and find yourself captivated by its beauty, remember that behind the scenes, a fascinating story of financial skill is unfolding. Airports are not just engineering feats. They are proof of human creativity, connecting us to the world while driving economies forward. They remind us that there are no limits. The sky is just the beginning of a journey that goes beyond architecture, connections, and financial brilliance. I hope you will like and share this video of Docutainment. Thank you so much for your kind comments. See you in the next awesome video.